Hey everybody, glad we have 5 people tonight. That's awesome. Thank you for joining me live. We'll get started in about a minute or so. I already started recording. I don't want to forget one of these last 2 sessions. I've been doing so good on that. So we'll wait just about another minute and get going. Tonight's virtual session is going to be covering videos. I know that was one thing that everybody wanted to see, video hosting, and also the closed captioning, and kind of what to expect for the end of the course on what needs to be done by what timetable. So we'll get going in about 60 seconds. Okay, based on my clock, it looks like it's about 4:30 right now, so we're going to go ahead and get going. If you have any questions, please type those in the chat. If you do lose me for some reason, I'm going to be switching between some different websites and changing my screen. So if you lose me in our session, I'll be right back on, but sometimes, unfortunately, it kicks me out. So we're going to begin with our agenda. And I'm going to open it up in just a minute for questions about modules 1 through 6. Then we're going to kind of talk about the closed caption YouTube videos, what you thought, and the responses, your reflections. It sounded like everybody was going to do this in the future, so it was very promising. Then I'm going to do a brief demonstration on some of the video hosting sites, Vimeo, SchoolTube, Screencast-O-Matic, and YouTube. We're going to kind of talk about Module 7, that assessments. We're going to speak about surveys. The survey reminder, there's 3 surveys. I'll explain each of those at the end here. And then question and answer. The survey reminder, that's going to be the course wrap-up, so we'll cover that more towards the end of this virtual session. I know that we're going to be covering video hosting. Is there anything else that you'd like to see covered in the virtual session tonight? I see Kristen and Julie typing, so I'll hang out for just a second before we move on. Okay, great, excellent. Okay, yeah, Julie, it's not too bad. YouTube, I think, is for me, it hasn't been too difficult. So if you have any questions, let me know. But I think typically, like some of the other sites, you might have trouble with the format and everything, but YouTube usually takes everything. So, okay, we're going to get going. Questions about Module 1 through 6. I know a lot of people who are on tonight are at Module 6 or even beyond that. So any questions, comments about what Module 1 through 6 involved? I know a lot of the reflections talked about redundancy, but anything else? Any questions, or are we just beyond that at this point? If you don't have any questions, if you wouldn't mind just typing in no questions or I'm good, just so I know that everybody's on and we can continue. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so it looks like we're all set to move on. The closed captioning, I kind of wanted to see your impression or hear what you guys thought of the closed captioning, what you used and how difficult you thought it was. So if you wouldn't mind typing in your responses, what you thought of the closed captioning, if you'll use it in the future, anything you've learned, or maybe to make the process easier. If you'd like, I'll enable everybody's microphones as well, and if you would rather do that with a microphone, you can do that, but you're more than welcome to type as well. Okay, perfect. That's what we're kind of hoping you were going to do, Julie. Yeah, it gives you a lot of options, especially if you've got several students who maybe want to view the video, or if they can't use headphones or it'd be distracting. It's nice to also have the closed caption so they can read it as well. So really, you can learn anywhere. You know, even if you aren't able to listen to it, you can still read it. Okay, no problem, Scott. It's in Module 6. Oh, okay, perfect. Excellent. Hi, Laura. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. The question was using closed captioning for your video. What you thought of that, any reactions, if you'd use it in the future. It sounds like that first go-around for a lot of people was a little tricky. Took a while for everybody to kind of get that going, and but once they did it's always easier doing it the second time. That first time is always the most difficult. Yeah, and I can't remember who mentioned it too, that it seems a little overwhelming and daunting, and I agree. And somebody else put in the suggestion of maybe using students to do that. Once you create the video, maybe having the students help out with the closed caption, which I thought was a really pretty good idea. Oh, great! I'm glad you're doing a survey monkey. Please share that on our next virtual session, Lisa, if you don't mind, and we'd love to hear what your results were. Thank you. Julie, if you wouldn't mind posting a transcript, hopefully it's in a Word document somewhere. Don't retype it if you don't have it, but hopefully it's in a Word document somewhere that you could post that part. Oh, okay. Okay, let me take a look at it. I think you should be okay, Julie, but just let me double check, take a look at it before I say anything one way or the other on that, but I'm pretty sure you should be okay. Okay, let's look at video hosting sites, and I've got a collection of 4 of them for you. The most popular one is YouTube. It's the brand name, kind of like when you talk about Kleenex facial tissue. That's kind of where people host their videos. It was one of the first ones out there. One of the negatives, though, is it does have ads, and the ads take away. I showed you the and I realized I got too many D's in there. I did show you the Safe Share website yesterday, or last virtual session, and that's a way to kind of get away from those ads and those suggested videos to do that. So, and it's easy to use. I think YouTube is one of the easiest video hosting sites to use. It, you know, a lot of people can even upload their videos right from an iPad or iPhone, which gives you a lot of versatility, and integrated into your Google sites. So if you have a Gmail or a Google Plus, everything talks to each other. So you can post something in your YouTube channel and it'll automatically go to your Google Plus, which is really nice. You don't have to repost it anywhere else. So some great things you can do. You can also do the subscribe button, which has your students or whoever subscribed to your channel, you know, they get notified when you post a new video. I'm going to kind of take these from the ones that people know the most down to maybe ones people don't know as much. So Vimeo is another one. This is a great site. It's very similar to YouTube where you can set up the channels. And what's nice about Vimeo is you can also brand it for a price. They can give you a premium subscription, and it'll allow you to kind of give your logo or whatever you want to put in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's similar, has similar features to YouTube. So I see Scott typing, so I'm going to give it a second, see if he has a question or input on this. Oh, okay. So, Scott, you have some experience with Vimeo. That's good. Anything else you can share? It's better for long videos. I know that our video guy that is here, he really likes Vimeo a lot better. Some of the premium features, you know, you got to pay for, but the branding and some of the other things he thinks is worth it. So. Welcome, Angela. Angela, I'm not sure if, how long ago you joined us, but we're talking about Vimeo and video hosting sites, and Scott was just giving us some pointers. Let's see. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you could do that, the suggested videos. I'll have to check into that. Yeah, I know a lot of people, it seems like YouTube's more of the consumer grade, and the Vimeo seems to be more of the professional. People in the industry are using Vimeo a lot more. So I haven't played a lot with Vimeo, but it sounds like there are a lot of great features with embed codes and adding it to your websites. The next one is SchoolTube. It's safer, has less features, but it's moderated. So it's another video hosting site, but the one problem with SchoolTube, and Tina joined us. Wow, we have the largest, this is awesome, largest virtual session so far. The nice thing about SchoolTube is not everybody can post to that. You either have to be a teacher or an institution, and if you're not, if you're a student, oh, no problem. If you're a student or if you want to post on it, it has to actually go through a human moderator just to make sure that your video is appropriate for the classroom. So everything on SchoolTube should be age appropriate. They do a really nice job of filtering out some of those videos that may not be appropriate for the classroom. But there are less features than YouTube, and it's not as well known. SchoolTube also brands all their videos with the watermark in the bottom. Angela, the first three we talked about, YouTube does not cost anything. Vimeo, if you don't want the premium features, does not cost anything, and SchoolTube does not cost anything. I think all four of these that I'm going to show you guys tonight, I have one more after this, all of them have a free element to them. The next one you're going to see is a $15 a year for the premium, but all of them have some kind of free version to this. And Angela, I think with what you've shown me, I think that YouTube would probably be the best way to stick because you're utilizing that Google Plus page. So using YouTube, everything's integrated into kind of one umbrella. Any other questions about SchoolTube before I get going? I know that SchoolTube, a lot of the filtering actually lets SchoolTube through. So if you can't get to YouTube, you can't get to Vimeo. SchoolTube is one to try. I know some districts, block YouTube, but SchoolTube is whitelisted on their filtering. That's a good question, Chad. Can anybody help me answer that one? I know that they are different, but they kind of got the same idea between SchoolTube and TeacherTube. I think SchoolTube's kind of more for the institution, but Tina, I think, would be probably the expert on that. While Tina types, I'm going to answer Angela's question. She asks, what works best for small children? I would say probably SchoolTube and TeacherTube, just because a lot of their videos are moderated or screened before they're posted. So even though they're not as easy to use, even though they're not easy to upload, they might be easier for the students. They're not going to see anything they're not supposed to. Thank you, Tina. So SchoolTube allows students and teachers, and TeacherTube is just for teachers only. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not sure, Angela, about allowing them to put other videos onto your Google Plus. I don't think so, but I'd have to check into that and get back to you. Yeah, that SafeShare.tv is a great way to kind of utilize or get the best of both worlds. One, it's safe; you're not seeing all those ads. But two, you have that video from YouTube and all the features for that. So it is a couple more steps, but I think it's definitely a great way to utilize these websites. So while you guys keep typing, I'm going to go to our last slide here, and I'll answer your questions as soon as they're up. Screencast-O-Matic. Has anybody heard of this before? Can you use in Adobe Connect up at the top where the guy raising his hand? If you have heard of it before, hit the agree button. It's going to turn to a green check. If you've not heard of Screencast-O-Matic, do the red disagree button. Okay, so I have a response from Julie, Laura, Lisa, Scott. Up at the top, Angela, there's like a little guy with his hand raised. If you click the drop down arrow next to it, it'll give you all those different options. Yeah, Chad, it's actually very similar to Jing. But what's nice about this, and I'll show you this in just a second, Screencast-O-Matic is got a great feature that integrates. You can record your video just like Jing or Snagit, like I showed you last virtual session, but it also allows you to post right from that same interface. So you don't have to save it anywhere and then upload it. You can actually upload everything straight to the site. You kind of eliminate some steps. There's a free and a paid version, and we'll go over the differences in just a second. But the paid version has lots of amazing features. We had one particular group that's doing this class with Jim Dornberg, and they had some teacher names, or excuse me, some student names up on the screen, and they wanted to be able to blur those out. If you have sensitive information or things you want to blur out, the paid version of the Screencast-O-Matic actually has all these kind of editing features built into it. Oh, so Laura, you do have some experience with Screencast-O-Matic, but I'll kind of do the overview and kind of show you what are the pros and cons to using it. So if I get disconnected, I'll be right back on. Sometimes this does not work. So let me stop sharing this. And I want to share my screen. Okay, I'm back. Let me try this one more time. Oh, I hope this works. This is an awesome program. Okay, I think I got it. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, great. I got a message from Laura. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so let me take you to the Screencast-O-Matic website. And this particular site, if you're running Java, you'll have to do the latest Java installation, but you don't need to sign up for an account. You don't need to download anything. You can just simply hit the Start Record button, and it'll load. Unfortunately, for some reason, my Mac is not working correctly with this program, so I actually went through and downloaded the the software. It's not necessary, but you can also download the software. And it's very similar to this Snagit software that I showed you last week. So I'm going to use the free version. Okay, so it'll give me a kind of a zebra line here, black and white line, and whatever is in this particular area will be captured on my screen. So I'm going to change the shape, make it a little bit larger. Then I'm going to hit the record button. You can see my audio is coming through. Hit the record button. And now it's going to count me down, and everything within this screen is going to be recorded. And at the same time, you can see my audio is also being recorded. So let's take a look at the Screencast-O-Matic for the free versus the pro. The pro is only $15 a year, and it allows you to do all these additional features. So you can no watermark when publishing. The edit tools are really cool. And Screencast-O-Matic is an amazing website for tutorials. It'll give you resizing your video and editing. And it just gives you tutorials on all the different features that are on the site. So there's you can draw and zoom while recording. So if you've seen those on YouTube where they draw, or they zoom in so you kind of see a little feature in the corner, the pro version also allows you to do that. And the pro also, there's a no max, so you can do as long a video as you want. Free hosting up to 15 minutes per upload. You can do an HD version with the paid. You can publish to Google Drive. Another great thing that Google Drive is pretty amazing in my opinion. You can upload it to Google Drive and then just share a folder with students, so they can be completely private videos, and you don't have to put them on YouTube or any other site. Now with the Google Drive you are limited on some space, but it will allow you to share them out, and I think that's a great way to send students content, because once they have that one link to your folder, then they can get anything in it. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm done. So now here's my recording, and you can see everything that I've done shows up here. But this is the best part, I think, of this whole process is Screencast-O-Matic actually has their own file server. You could set up an account with them and send it straight to publish it to Screencast-O-Matic. You could publish it straight to YouTube, publish it to a video file. So if I click on that, I can save it to my computer. So if you have Movie Maker or some of the other different programs that you want to edit these videos, you can do that as well. But by giving you the ability to send right to YouTube, you cut out a bunch of steps. So you can add notes, and you can say at maybe 1 minute, I want it to say this is reminder, 1 through 8 are due, or any kind of little note you want it to do. It'll pop up here on your screen. Captions. If you have a script, you can do your captions here as well, your closed captioning. So all of these different features are available. These you've seen are the free version, but you can also upgrade for the pro and get even more features as well. So Scott, it looks like the app is worth the price of admission. What do you guys think of that compared to some of the other things you've used or have done in the past? Okay, so Laura thinks it looks promising. Yeah, it takes a little bit use. This whole video screen capture kind of thing is a little bit of a shift in teaching pedagogy, because instead of talking to a group of students, you're kind of talking to your monitor, kind of doing these tutorial videos. So if you have instructions or anything you'd like to archive, you can do this as well. Yeah, yeah, the free version, and you don't even have to sign up for an account. So I think it's a great software. I know Jim Dornberg, my colleague here, he actually pays the $15 because he likes all the editing tools, and he just doesn't want to go out of business because it's pretty cool. Kristen, you can also send them to the Screencast-O-Matic website. It's got some of the same features as YouTube. You'll be able to host your videos there, and they can, obviously you have to set up an account with them, but I'm pretty sure that one's a free account. If it's still a free account, it used to be, and then they could do videos from there. You could send links. Yeah, that's another great way too, Julie. You can kind of give your class rules or something you want to give every parent, or maybe even if Julie, I think this might be a great idea if you have like a video that you could do about your website, kind of show it off, and you can send that out as well in an email. Yeah, $15 a year, and I know Jim Dornberg really likes it. I'm gonna probably pay the $15 because I'm getting more into this kind of thing. So okay, Angela and Julie are still typing. Well, Angela, you can still upload to YouTube and it'll still post to your Google Plus site. So this would be a great one to use. Oh, very cool, Julie. That's a great idea. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. A mobile device, and perfect. Okay, so if we look at our agenda, we're done with our question 1 through 6, closed captioning, video hosting. So Module 7, I know there's about 4 people, I think, that are on Module 7. A lot of it kind of review. We're talking about formative and summative assessment, so how that's kind of shifting from your paper pencil into more of an online presence. So I won't spend too much time on that unless people have questions. Yeah, Kristen, it does require Java. So if you don't have the latest version, or if they have it blocked for any reason, it will not work on if it doesn't have the Java installed. Okay. While we have our people typing in the chat window, we're going to move down. I don't hear any discussion on Module 7. So if you do come across a question, just email me. I can go over that with you. But our suggested agenda for these virtual sessions is talk about the upcoming and the current module. So that's why I have these in there every time. But if a lot of people are different spots, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. There's going to be surveys at the completion of this course. There's going to be 3 surveys. We were at a training, kind of a wrap-up training as the instructors for this class on last Wednesday, and they wanted us to emphasize there's going to be 3 surveys that come out. One is going to be at the end of the course, and that is going to be under the course closure. Kind of talks about your experiences in that. That one needs to be completed. You will also receive, once you complete the class, a survey from me. That survey will entitle you to the Snagit license and a completion certificate. And finally, there's a third survey that's going to come from the state of Michigan for your sketches. And they're saying to expect that anywhere from the first to middle part of June so you can get your sketches. And I know everybody is looking to get those in before June 30th. So I've been assured that everything will be through and it'll be before that June 30th deadline. They're shooting for middle of June to have everything completely done. Yeah, there are a lot of oral kind of assessments for kindergarten students. How will we get the wonderful survey from the state? Angela, actually the email that you registered for this course, it'll actually come through email from the state, so it'll be an electronic survey. But I'll have to, let me get back with you on the assessments for kindergarten students. I'll see what some other people have done and get back to you on that, because a lot of them are oral and you're not necessarily going to want to put a student in front of a computer to have them do multiple choice or some other kind of assessment. Okay, yeah, Julie, you're right in the same boat. So yeah, let me see, and I'll make a note. I'll try to address that, if not to you two individually, at our next virtual session for sure. Okay, I'm going to open it up, question and answer time. If you don't have any questions, you're more than welcome to type no questions, and that'll be the end of your virtual session. If you'd like to hang around to hear other people's questions, please feel free to. Thank you, Chad. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you guys finish up the course. I try to send out like our virtual session, that grid. I sent that to everybody. If you have any questions, let me know. Yes, there is one more virtual session. Not next week. I think it's like May 5th, I think. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but it's the first part of May. Oh, no problem, Lisa. Is it next week already? Holy smokes, it is. Yep, I think it'll be May 5th. Yes, you are right. So our last and final wrap-up session will be next week, May 5th. Same place, same time. Angela, I'll email you tomorrow with those instructions for the screenshots. The last day to submit work is May 9th, and that is a Friday. I need to confirm everybody's class in that, so or all their coursework. So the deadline for that is Friday, May 9th at midnight, because I need to submit everything. No work will be taken. We need to submit that to the state. So unfortunately, there is no leeway on that. That email I sent out, I apologize. I don't run this course. I just teach it. So all their kind of requirements for sketches are can't get around. So I just want to make sure everybody has all that information. I mean, everybody I think in here everybody's work is great. So I know a couple people are still working on getting caught up, but keep up the great work. May 9th will be here before you know it. But if you have any questions, let me know. I know Angela came last week, I think it was Monday, to work with me. So if you want to face-to-face or want to just sit down and work, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to make those arrangements as well. Well, that concludes our virtual session for tonight. So if you're all set, you're ready to sign out, go ahead and do that. I appreciate everybody's contributions tonight. I think this was our best virtual session. Okay, Tina, let me look on that too. I'll do some research for young students and adult learners and get it back to you on that. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Laura. See you next week. It'll be here before you know it. Okay, yeah, Julie, I'll email you. Is by 9 o'clock tomorrow okay? Because I was going to be taking off right after this. Okay, I'll let you know by 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to write myself a note right now. Perfect. Thank you for also including the link.